Well, we've got our first possible big team of the season warm-up SBC leak. It's an icon that we will go and look at. I'm assuming it's during team of the season warm-up. It might come before in these next couple days, but we will see. We got a bunch of team of the season packs leaks today as well, and one thing did suggest that we maybe wouldn't see live team of the season. I think it was the last 2 years now we've seen live team of the season, and it's kind of been hit and miss in terms of its popularity, and we'll discuss that too as we get there. Some evolution stuff, some more random TOTS stuff as well, and for one, thank you all for joining and being here, of course. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to mmoxp.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. And I got Maldini. Now, I'm also going to open for this video. I'm going to do it right now, actually, not even at the end, because I feel like it. I'm going to open the hero and icon pick that came along with the Maldini rewards. If you got Maldini, let me know if you enjoyed him so far, if you've used him. But okay, I'm not expecting much in here. Just wanted to see if I could possibly get lucky and end up packing something. Mascherano is the first player. Second player is Carlos Tevez. And the third player is Tim Cahill. Okay, I'm going to take Tevez just for fodder, I guess. Maybe some Evo potential on some of these guys. But okay, icon pick. First one, we get Alessandro Nesta, 90 rated. All right. Second one is Future Stars Luis Figo, 91, I guess isn't the worst ever, and there you go. It's funny because icon picks back in the day used to be, man, I really hope I get a Pele R9, Hullet, etc. Now you sit back and say, wow, I just want a 92 rated card just for fodder, which is a sign of the times, I suppose. But yeah, it's kind of what I expected in there. But okay, let's go on to leaks in the news now, and the first thing we're going to talk about actually is something I didn't mention yet, and that is that there was an update, but let's read through the patch notes, and you will see that we talked about last update. I think gameplay updates just might be done, and we are just getting to that point now where I think that is going to be the case. Title update number 13. It's been 4 gameplay updates since major changes, or 5 updates since major changes. The only thing this did for Ultimate Team was apparently there was this bug going around that is now going to be fixed, and that is a playstyle or playstyle plus did not trigger in-game for a player item with greater than 12 playstyles. And this has actually been seen in these new Evos EA are dropping because they're actually only max 9 playstyles in the requirements. Usually they're max 10. Reason being is because I guess over the last week they figured out that there was an issue with 12 playstyle cards and certain ones weren't triggering in game, which does beg the question, if you've had a 12 playstyle card, it might have been worse and not playing how they should have been because certain playstyles or playstyle pluses were not triggering in game all the time. So I guess if you have a 12 playstyle card, maybe they just got a big buff, I guess. I don't know how long that's been a problem for, but this is the reason right here that there's been 9 playstyle evos instead of 10 playstyle evos. But yeah, how do you feel about gameplay changes not being there? You know, the replies right now are just everybody saying, you know, I can't believe that there really just is no gameplay changes once again in another update. Also, there's no super sub items again. Don't know what's going on with that. We'll have to wait and see. I just wanted to begin that today because I do genuinely think we're probably done for the year in terms of big gameplay changes. And once they got an ounce of good feedback post that patch in January, they said, holy shit, just keep it the same. I guarantee you their roadmap for the rest of the year was this gameplay is not changing until next game. And I think that that's clearly what's been shown now since then. But okay, next up is probably the first warm-up SBC. We've got Samuel Eto'o, Future Stars icon, power shot, and quick step. Eto'o is very, very good in this game. I have a quick step and low driven version of Samuel Eto'o with similar stats, and he's very, very good. He has some of the best shooting animations. Now, yes, 2 playstyle pluses, you know, we will not be there. We will complain about everything, but we are at that point of the year where it's hard to have a lot of players fit your team. This Eto'o card in the market is 1.7 million. Like, he's going to be great. A 1.7 mil card coming as an SBC. You can't really complain too much about that, but I would guess during the warm-up, we're going to see cards that are already released, not as SBCs, but just cards that are in packs, right? Say some kind of, even a card up from that Eto'o card, say a Fun Birthday Ronaldinho, right? That could be an SBC during the warm-up series. Only 2 playstyle pluses, but very expensive, and EA are comfortable giving us that kind of player and having us spend a lot of coins on it. And okay, another tweet from FIFA Trading Romania here. We got the crafting upgrade and daily login returning during the TOTS warm-up. Daily login, you kind of expect, but the crafting upgrade is nice because that'll be a lot of packs saved saved up for team of the season, and crafting upgrade always helps with a menu type grind. Now, this does probably confirm once again. I feel like we would know exchanges are coming quite a ways ahead of time if they were coming out. So if you've been holding out hope for a while, I just really doubt they're coming this year, and more proof of it kind of in this tweet right here. And okay, next up here with team of the season leaks. Before we talk about the packs themselves, we're gonna have 3 styles of cards during team of the season. We've got the regular TOTS and TOTS moments like we, you know, have seen for the past few years now. Then we also got team of the season highlights, which, I mean, what's the difference between TOTS moments and TOTS highlights? That sounds like exactly the same thing. Highlights maybe is going to be some kind of like, I don't know, other type of card, evolution type, hero, icon type, maybe, because I don't understand how moments and highlights will be drastically different if it's not like a card rarity difference, if that makes any sense at all. And I do think it's a matter of time till TOTS icons are a thing. I don't really know how they haven't been yet. I wouldn't be surprised to see team of the season icons. Maybe this is how we end up seeing them with the TOTS highlights. And then we got a bunch of new packs added into the code. And some of these are store packs, so, you know, kind of ignore those ones. They're the ones you kind of expect. So let's scroll over. Those I think are 4 probably store packs there. We have an 89 plus FUT Immortals, 10 times 82 plus eFigs. That's a very much warm-up series type of pack there that we see during the upcoming week. And then we scroll over to these ones. This is where it gets interesting because let's read through these. And we have all the leagues leaked already, right? You got La Liga and Liga F, same as last year. Serie A combined with NWSL, same as last year. Bundesliga and Premier League there, combined with the respective women's leagues. That's no surprise. And then same with the Liga and the Women's Liga. Now, there is no TOTS live player pack here. So that is interesting that doesn't exist here. So I don't really know what to make of that. Of course, the TOTS live packs could be added in the code like tomorrow or the next day or something like that. Which is weird that we got a bunch of TOTS player packs here from all of the leagues and then no live team of the season. And as you can see also, TOTS highlights is in there, so it's TOTS, then honorable mentions, or the highlights players in all of these packs. This one right here, though, contains 11 items from Liga/Women's Liga team of the season, not including highlights players, which that also maybe is a hint towards highlights are actually icons or heroes, maybe. And it'd be cool to actually maybe have crazy team of the season, like 11 players from a team of the season pack for high FUT champs rank finishes again, or division rivals. And also this pack here, 93 by 5, which also does not include live team of the season, which is kind of interesting. You assume this would be the same kind of weekly play per season reward that we've gotten for the last couple seasons now. It's been 90 by 5. Now it's going to be 93 by 5 for next season with team of the season cards inside of them. But I don't know. You know, live team of the season has not really been a hit, I would say. It's really because EA don't make the cards that great. It is cool to have a live team of the season, I guess, if people like following that. But I don't really think it's been that popular. I've also been a big fan just in the past of the community team of the season. I think that's always been a lot of fun, voting on team of the season. Here's the FIFA 19 community team of the season right here. And, you know, some really good off-league cards in there. I always liked the idea of, if you guys didn't remember, the rule was that cards could only be in this team of the season if they hadn't gotten an inform yet. So I always liked the idea of like, hey, these guys have not gotten special cards and now they're going to. And you got some off-league players that are now going to be juiced out and really, really good. Like that Alex Tellez was a crazy card. Obviously, this Zlatan's one of the favorites as well, really in FIFA history. Musa Sissoko down there was really good. So I always liked that idea. I don't really get why we don't want to go back to this. Let's pick some cards who haven't gotten many specials yet. I don't know. I guess that just doesn't sell, and they realize that now that there's no point in doing that because that just doesn't help sell team of the season. And also, we used to have the EFL team of the season too. Tammy Abraham is there, and this usually came during community team of the season or Prem team of the season, one of the two. And I just don't get why we don't flood packs with team of the seasons. Let's have 75 in packs at a time. I don't know. Just do something crazy like that. This is the time of the year, especially with how EA have gone this year, where we are only playing for fun, really, which should be what everybody does all the time, but you guys know what I mean. Sometimes you hop on because you want coins or whatever. Right now, it should be strictly fun, and that is it. Holy young Reece James. That's Reece James and John McGinn, Jared Bowen. This is actually a stacked EFL team of the season here, but just would be awesome to see them go all out is kind of my point. And okay, next up, an evolution leak we got this Koundé Evo leak, yeah, like a week ago almost, and FUT Yapper says soon. I think this was leaked to come this weekend, I want to say, was the rumor from FUT Police Leaks, I think. So this right back Evo, or a center back Evo, maybe 89 or less, Koundé fits in these requirements. That's at least one of the Evo leaks we've got right now. And then there was this quite interesting tweet, and that was from FUT Police Leaks here, who's quote tweeting his own tweet that he tweeted, a lot of tweeting happening, talking about this Evo that dropped today, right? Ruben Diaz fits in there. He says, leaked 6 days before before release. I have all the Evos for the next 10 days with the Hourglass. Tell me which position should I leak first? I'm sorry, what? You have the next 10 days worth of evolutions leaked? FUT Agent is shaking in his boots right now at the thought of FUT Police Leaks leaking the next 10 days worth of Evos. And obviously, we'll keep you updated with this because that's, I mean, you'd assume what, like that's 7 evolutions or something like that this guy knows about. This, I don't know who this guy's source is, but this guy might be Andrew Wilson himself, but we'll, I guess, keep you updated as the days go on. And FUT Agent does say here, though, that the next evolutions are chain evolutions, apparently. So take that for what you will. Again, it means absolutely nothing, really, because, yeah, like this guy replied and said, what is that supposed to mean? Every Evo literally can be chained anyway. And it's like, I guess what he's probably trying to say is maybe +1 overalls or +2 overall increases and not crazy stat boosts, I think is what he means there. But yeah, it is very vague, and that's because it's intentionally vague, as we know now. And I saw this tweet and I thought it was a very good point. You know, for those that didn't get Maldini, if you were stressing out and you lost by a win or something like that, you'll get this level of card for 30k soon. Yes, maybe not Hato himself, but there's gonna be a lot of cards here in, I want to say, 2 weeks time that you're gonna be like probably just as good, if not better than Maldini for like discard price during team of the season. So we're not far from that time, right? Also, I'm sure most of you saw Barcelona going through. You got Danny Olmo and Eric Garcia getting the upgrades, and Olmo will now have 5-star skills or weak foot, whatever one they decide, and another +1 on him as well. So congrats, you Olmo owners, which I'm assuming most of you probably picked Olmo because you waited to see who would win. But I am sorry if you prematurely picked Zelbazlai. But okay, I wanted to talk about this post on Reddit as well here that I saw. So this guy says, if you guys are struggling with squad battles / rivals, camera settings might be a solution. Now, if you've been here for a while, you kind of know what I'm going to say here. And that is that, yes, camera settings to me are one of the more important things that you need to either like be comfortable with or get used to or figure out what you are the best with, test things around, mess with stuff to try and get the best camera settings for you, because I genuinely do believe that camera settings are actually very important to how you play and just what you're used to. There's not, say, a perfect camera setting just that's like the most meta or the best. It's more so for you. If you like telebroadcast, then great. If you like co-op, then perfect. If you like tele, perfect as well. I think those 3 are probably like the best 3 in my opinion, but it's really personal preference, and I do think it's worth it to try. You have to accept, of course, if you try co-op and you're used to telebroadcast, you might lose a few more games than you usually would. But you have to be okay with that, because in the long run, you might figure out that you like it a lot more and you're better with that. But if you're in a rut, try switching camera angles and see if that helps. It'll change the way you play a little bit. Switch from telebroadcast to co-op, you know, zoom in or zoom out based on how you're playing too. Just little things like that to help you see the field better can change things. So I think that this is just a tip that can help you in any game mode, right? Just help you get better at FIFA in general is camera settings. And one underrated thing EA absolutely need to change is when you're playing in different stadiums in FIFA, your camera will oftentimes change slightly. If you have custom camera settings, say 20 height, 0 zoom, certain stadiums you can't use that on. It'll go back to 1010. That is one of the most underrated things that EA need to change eventually, because that does fuck with you. Like, that genuinely does mess with how you play. I play on 20 height, 0 zoom telebroadcast. Sometimes if I'm on 1010, it feels like I'm on a different camera angle entirely, and it really does mess with like how you play. And I really hope EA can fix that at some point. I'm sure it's quite complicated though, honestly, trying to change where the camera's at depending on the stadium you play in. But anyway, I want to bring these up again because it's just such big news. This 94 and 95 rated Evo stuff, if I'm sure most of you saw yesterday, but if you didn't see, there's 94 and 95 rated evolutions on the way with these playstyle pluses you can put on your player. And I didn't really say this yesterday, but I want to reiterate this once again. The moments that these come out, the market's going to go down because people will take 2 million coin cards, 3 million coin cards, and make them untradeable. There's no doubt about it. They might even be paid like crazy too, because these could come out and end up being, even though they're SBCs, they could still be expensive, or some of them will just drop in the Evo section and be 500,000 coins, or even more than that potentially. So the market is going to go down. And I wanted to bring that up with like Market Watch right now, because the market's going to drop when these come out. To me, there's just no way, because we talked about yesterday too, cards like Ronaldinho, cards like R9 can fit in here, and because of that, you're gonna see a coin drain similar to people buying that baby Mia Hamm or the baby R9 to throw into that evolution that came out, what, a month ago or so. You'll see similar stuff to that. And just pre-team of the season right now, the market is very volatile. The market's volatile now anyway because of evolutions just all the time, but the Market Watch is really, I'm not buying shit until these come out, because I'm I'm scared to death of what the market looks like when these drop, but I'm excited to see what happens when they actually do come out though. Okay, let's read your guys' comments now. We've got ZRCI who says, JFC, do you know what the reaction stat actually controls? Honestly, I'm not sure many people do. I don't think that we've ever gotten like a real description on what it does. I guess you can kind of infer what it does in terms of if there's a loose ball somewhere, your player can react quicker, your player can react quicker to everything, I guess, on the pitch. Is it everything? Is it some things? Is it loose balls? Is it hairy balls? You know, what are they reacting to faster? I don't think we have any idea. Maybe they've said once or twice somewhere about exactly what the stat does, but we only really can infer. And that's kind of how most stats are. Attack positioning. You kind of can infer what it means. What does it actually mean? Tough to say. Defensive awareness. What does that truly mean? I guess we don't really have any idea. You can kind of infer what it means in general, but next up we got MVB who says, I do think the power curve is too high, but Evos are the best thing of this game. Finally have a good one nation team for my country before the end of the game cycle. Also, the market being low has allowed me to have better players. In 22/23, I was never able to get an 87 Cordoba until team of the season, which is insane. I want to bring this up because, I mean, you know me. I don't want to sit here and say like EA have a great system right now because obviously I think there's a ton of flaws with it, but it is true that right now, like, you can get an insane team by not doing very much work, and you can have a crazy team like of your country, right? You can make an insane Turkish team, right? Like, you can do shit like that, and you know, there's still ways to do that makes things more rewarding. If, say, maybe you didn't make Evos crazy and just made them kind of like at the power curve, not breaking the power curve, like, there's little things you can do in there, but I just want to be careful when we talk about like, yeah, let's make things harder, because I do think deep down, I kind of want things to be harder, but at the same time, we just got to be real and be like, there are people that are probably having tons of fun right now because they can just pick players out of a hat that they have tons in their club that can fit in their team kind of seamlessly. Well, besides roles and stuff, because fuck roles, but you know what I mean. Cards that are equivalent to the power curve right now that do make things boring for some of us that love the grind, but also some people like the idea of like a lot of cards fitting in your team. Which one's the right way to play and right answer? I'd ideally like to be able to, you know, have both there, but right now we don't really have both. And that's why it's so tough, because when I think back at the older FIFAs, I think about how things were harder actually to get and it was more rewarding that way. But it's just important to be careful and like think about, do we really want it to be back like that? Do we really want it to? There are certain things we absolutely, you know, need to go back to how things were, but some things I do wonder if they're better now than, you know, they used to be. But like I say a lot, I don't have the right answers. Like, I'm just kind of talking, right? I'm just talking how I feel, and let me know what you guys think too. We got Paolo who says, personally, I don't think that even if they anticipate the release date, it would avoid GTA 6. I'm assuming you mean like, you know, making the release date in the end of August, like we talked about, is rumored right now. The only thing to do is either push the release date 2 months after or before GTA 6. I think August 23rd would be prior 2 months to GTA 6. I know GTA 5 came out in September, and I guess that technically is fall, right? Because the leak has been fall 2026. I think the release date leak has been in October though. But the first point you make is totally right. There's no avoiding GTA 6, and all these gaming companies know that because it is anticipated to be the biggest digital media release in history. Talking movies, video games, anything, right? So competing with that is not possible. To literally compete with that, you have to try and work around it as best as you can. There's no fighting it head on. So I'm saying that because it's going to be very interesting to see what these companies do to try and do that, because it's not just FIFA that are going to try and keep you on the game when GTA 6 is out. It's going to be other games too that are fighting desperately to keep your attention in a time where retention is everything, right? What do they do? I don't know. They have to just pray that GTA 6 is in just the slightest bit overhyped. And I don't think it's going to be the case because Rockstar's been working for a decade on this game, but they have to pray that somehow the game is just doesn't quite live up to the hype, because I think that's all they can do. All they can really do realistically is just hope it doesn't live up to the hype, because how are you going to compete with it? I'm really curious to see what EA does, because I think people sometimes have been like, no, it's not that big of a deal. They're going to just kind of go with the flow. Yeah, they're going to prepare for a few lesser months of revenue, but they're just going to kind of rock with the same shit and ride the wave with it, and it'll come back during team of the season or team of the year time when a couple months of GTA 6 and the hype has died down a little bit for it at least. I don't think that, honestly. I do think they're going to do something at the start of the year next year, and we'll see what that is. But yeah, I'm curious and I'm excited to see in one hand, because I do think they have to make it pretty interesting and good for us. But that could just be pure cope, to be honest with you. I have no idea. idea. But hey, that's it for me. Thank you for joining and being here. I appreciate you all so much. Love y'all. Peace.